YouTube, what's the word? I got a tip for a 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude radio install. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. This is only for the Cherokees with the factory amp and the factory subwoofer. It's just a quick tip on what type of radio harness you need and a few wires that must be connected together so you get that sound from the factory speakers. Now you can see that I have my SCAR amp, the RP2001D. It's a 2000 watt mono block that I'm about to install for 212s, but that's something different, okay? But if you look over here, if you had this factory sub in the back of your Cherokee, you're going to need that special wire harness to give it that remote power to that factory amp in order to get that sound from the factory speakers. Now, I was sold the wrong harness at the Swap-A-Rama by some asshole. The harness connected, but I couldn't get any sound. It was for the Cherokees without the built-in factory amplifier. So I'm going to show you the one that you actually need. Now, I'm installing a 7-inch double DIN, so I had to make a few adjustments. The first thing I had to do was trim along the radio housing so the double DIN could actually fit. Now, because it was the height that was the problem. The width was okay. I could have trimmed it a little bit more evenly. Not my best work, but won't nobody know once I put everything back together unless I told you. I should never told y'all. I got everything disconnected, the radio with the navigation, the climate control, so it's all set, ready to go. Now, this radio harness, this is what you're going to need. It's a PAC C2R CH Y4 Chrysler radio replacement interface, and I'll put a link at the bottom for it. The main function of this interface is to give remote signal to the factory amp, so it works with your aftermarket radio. Now, I'm used to installing radios in a lot of GM cars, Chevys, Buicks, Pontiacs, Cadillacs, so this one was a little different for me working on this Grand Cherokee. Two things that's critical when wiring this harness to your new aftermarket radio. On the new harness, the blue remote amplifier wire has to be connected to the blue remote amplifier wire of the radio. Now, if you're hooking up another amp for subs like I am, then connect that blue remote wire with the other two so that all three are wired together. So that way it'll send a signal to the factory amp and to the aftermarket amp for your subwoofers. The second thing is that the factory amp only serves 2 channels, which are left and right. So you have to connect the front outputs of the aftermarket radio to the rear inputs of the radio connector in order for the speakers to work. The way I'm explaining it might be a little confusing, so I'll put a link in the description of the actual diagram that can help you out. So once you got each wire hooked up correctly, you should be ready to go. Just plug your radio back in, put the screws back in, plug up your climate control and your 4-way flashers, then put your console back together. You should be all set. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope this video was helpful. You got any questions, just put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe. I have more content for cars coming real soon. Thanks, and see you next time. Appreciate it. Love.